up? What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. It's NBA Talk with Jay Money and the Shark, man. My guy Sharks the Sports back with us. We have the shades on. We're trying to cash. It's that simple. What's up with you, Shark? Everything cool with you, my guy? How's everything going with you?
Too good to be good. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful Sunday morning. We always say this: splendid Sunday, sharp Sunday. Sundays are for the Sharps. March 6, 2022, 8-game card. 4 national games. I saw the chat earlier. People dropping some hot picks in the chat. Jay Money lead the way, and let's dominate this one.
Yeah, appreciate everybody in the chat, man. The chat makes this show. It's all about this community, man, right? We all trying to cash together. It's us against the bookies. We're trying to get some cash. Let's get straight into it. It's all business here. We do have an early game, so let's get started here. And Sundays are also for the dogs. First game up, man. We go to the streets of Boston here. We have the Celtics laying 4.5 against the Nets. A couple of smackdowns over the Nets already this year, the past 2 times, right? Now you do get Kevin Durant back with his guys, Kyrie Irving as well, back on the road here with Curry and Drummond here. It's a tough game for me. We know that the Celtics won't have Jaylen Brown out there, but they do have Derek White to step in. This is a tough game for me, especially with it being an early start. I don't have a look on this one either. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Nets get some double revenge here, though, Shark. But also wouldn't be surprised to see the Celtics clean them up once again. You like some here?
Nothing official, and this has been well noted, of course. Sundays in the NBA are definitely a different project. Different start times being the key point. Of course, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. These guys are not used to playing at this hour. The number in this game is heavily on the Nets. Go back to early season. Nets came into Boston, 123-104 final. Boston was -1.5 on that particular day. Then, of course, come back to Barclays. We talk about this all the time. Brooklyn has had a lot of roster moves this year. COVID, injuries, trades, you name it. And, of course, Boston did hammer them. A J Money trifecta special, 126-91 on a 9.5. Super, super strong line there. Then it came back again at -9 in Barclays. And they hammered them again, 129-106. So now you go from 2 blowouts on the road, 9.5, 9, down to 3.5. That is ultra, ultra short. It's telling you a story. Brooklyn is getting Kevin Durant back. This is the first game Kevin Durant has played with Kyrie Irving in months. And also Brooklyn, hovering in the 8th seed here, needs to cluster wins right now in March, quick, fast. I would talk you guys on to Brooklyn. I don't like playing matinees. Brooklyn definitely the sharpest look in this game, Jay.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. Like I say, with KD and Kyrie coming back on there, they actually have a center now. Could see them getting some double revenge. We know the Celtics are sustained by as well, even without Brown. This team can always turn up as well. So I'm not in a hurry to go against the Celtics, especially with this early game as well. It does, in my opinion, favor the home teams, but I'm right there with you, bro. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Nets come out here with them sitting at. I guarantee you, KD is telling these guys, we're not slipping down too far, and we're going to make a run at this shit. So especially with them losing that last game as well. I appreciate you, Josh, in the chat for the $20 donation. Some other guys as well, man. I appreciate you guys in the chat. We've been cashing. Let's keep it going today, guys. That's simple. I don't give a damn what happened yesterday. It's all about today. Yeah, lean Nets, but I'm staying off the game. It's a tough one for me. Can see it going either way. Now, this one, Shark, we have the Bucks here. In theory, the revenge spot. But I always say this: when you have finals revenge, every game that you played that year is a revenge spot for you. So it's still Suns or nothing for me. I hate that Cam Johnson is out, Shark. I know that Devin Booker and Chris Paul are out, but I still think they could get it done without those guys. When you have Cam Johnson hurt now, that 3-and-D type of guy. I mean, he had 7 or 8 threes this last game. He was going off. God was balling, man. So it's a tough game for me. I'm still not laying 9 points with the Bucks, though. It's that simple. I still think the Suns have some defensive pedigree to stay close in this game. I don't know, Shark. What about you, bro? Do you see this with the Bucks? They're not the same team as last year.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this. Obviously, the East has massive parity in the playoff race. The Bucks did do this last year to a certain degree, where they said, "All right, guys, we're done being the regular season champion. We want to save a little energy." And, of course, they did win the finals, so shout out to them for that. And as you mentioned, you get a revenge spot for Phoenix coming in the finals revenge. I'm not entirely sure how strong that is without Chris Paul, who, of course, is the emotional locker room leader and players coach for this group. And as you mentioned, Cam Johnson just went ape shit nuts, just went off against the Knicks the other night, breaking Knicks' hearts everywhere. Make one free throw, Alec Burks, the game is over. Nope, long rebound, 3-ball off glass for the win. You come back in here, 3:30 p.m., in the Midwest. Again, funky start time, inflated number. This actually opened at 6.5 last night. So you're getting the bad end of the line if you get it at 9.5 now. There's a lot of space there. We talk about this all the time. Usually space is more of a fishy idea, but in this environment, it's going to be tough for Milwaukee at 10 here at 3:30 p.m. ABC. I got nothing on this one, Jack.
Yeah, Max in the chat, appreciate you for that $10 super sticker as well. Yeah, it's Suns or nothing for me. Still Fires revenge. They are missing D Booker, Cam Johnson, and CP3, but Bucks 1-5 against the spread last 6 games versus winning teams. Some of these trends are just trends, but they really do tell a good story of how the team plays out. This Bucks team does not beat great teams, especially great defensive teams as well. So I know the trends, not everyone's friends, but sometimes they could just tell a good story of how the teams are playing up or down to opponents. 0-5 against the spread last 5 home games versus winning road teams. 1-5 against the spread last 6 home games overall. 2-6 ATS last 8 overall. 4-10 against the spread last 14 after a straight up win. Also 3-7 ATS after ATS win. So this Bucks team is very inconsistent. When they face up a terrible bottom feeder, they can smack up by 20. They struggle versus the top tier teams. I'd still lean Suns even with the injuries and and I think they could win their game with defense, simply put. So, but nothing official for me there. Shark, the Wizards versus the Pacers here. I may not lay points with the Wizards all for the rest of this season. It's this simple. Am I taking the Pacers though? No. So, would you like something here?
I mean, you said it. 6 p.m. Capital One Arena, Washington, D.C. There's a lot of things going on in Washington, D.C. that are slightly more interesting and slightly better to bet on than this. This is just an awful NBA game to bet. 4th matchup of the year. You do get a double revenge game here for Washington. They have lost 2 in a row to Indiana, but of course, talking about moving parts with rosters, Indiana is the definition of that at the back end of the season. This team has nothing to play for. Their motivation is highly, highly scattered. You might see some more moves in the offseason. Rick Carlisle has been a certifiable disaster as a head coach. We talked about this last year with Nate Bjorkgren. Maybe it wasn't Bjorkgren. Maybe it's just the mental makeup of this group. And, of course, you get Buddy Hield coming over here. I mean, this guy is the most inconsistent shooter I've ever seen as a professional. It's tough to cap. The one corollary that I would bring you back to early season, the line was 1 or 2. It moved across the board. We were talking about this actually when that game went down early season on the show, Jay. And the final was 135-134 in overtime. So if you look at how they play in this arena with these two teams weighted at this number, I think it's going to be razor sharp. Run and hide, bet something else, and maybe watch this game if you're a fan, but there's nothing going on here.
And these are the type of games I'd like to watch and learn, not something that I'm going to be betting. It's necessary. It's 2 teams that I don't want to bet on. It's pretty much that simple. I wouldn't be surprised what happened in that one. Man, let's go over here to the streets of OKC here, man. We have the Thunder. Is it thunderstorming outside? But you got the Thunder here at the house, man, getting 13.5 points versus the Jazz team. They don't have Conley. They have a bigger game on deck tomorrow versus the Mavs. Hope the Jazz go all out here. They will get smacked up tomorrow. I'll be going to that game, but what do you think about this one, Shark? Is it too many points to lay with the Jazz on the road here? Would you be taking the points with the Thunder here, my guy?
And this is just a tough merge. We talk about this all the time. The worst spots in the sport, other than Indiana versus Washington, are teams that come from the same environment. I think Jay's so disgusted by this cap, he's got to go just take a breath for a half second. But that all being said, when you look at what happened here, of course, Utah just got absolutely hammered by 34 points at New Orleans in the previous game, which, of course, we had as the top play 2 nights ago. But Oklahoma City is also coming off a 37-point blowout loss to Minnesota. So both teams just got absolutely hammered in the previous game. Of course, you get a revenge game. Oklahoma City did lose far earlier, 110-104. November 24th, 2021, a campaign it was. But you look at what's going on here. The numbers on Utah, and the Thunder have been awful at home in the last 10 games. For whatever reason, they get on the road. They take on a road warrior mentality. They come back home. They have been absolutely terrible. I could see Utah taking care of business. I think it's going to be tight. You saw a 13.5 line last night. Minnesota laid it to Portland, and they won the game by 14 points. These are oftentimes razor sharp. Definitely a gamble line. As you mentioned, Utah look-ahead factor. Big game at Dallas tomorrow. No play here for me.
Yeah, so the Jazz, they do need wins, right? They're going to chase the W here. I could see that, but land 13.5 on the road without Conley, I must say, as Jazz are nothing for me. I hope they blow these guys out. Get some confidence. You're not winning tomorrow. It's simple. Revenge game, Jay, tomorrow. Just a little look ahead. Yeah, Mavs, they're on some shit right now. You see them win the game even without Luka. I'm sorry to get too ahead, but like I said, I've been gauging that game up ever since we lost to Utah early this season, right after All-Star break. I like the Mavs tomorrow, but yeah, in this game, Jazz are nothing for me. I hope they blow them out by 30 points. Let's go over here to the streets of Houston. Shark, sorry, nothing for me. I remember you were texting to me about this one last night, the funky line for the Grizzlies here. I mean, what are we doing with this Rockets team? They have times where they play scrappy, but I don't know what you like here.
This is tough. It's definitely tough. It opened at Memphis 12.5. It's down to 10.5. And I don't know who's betting this game aggressively to move it that far. I don't know if sharps out in Vegas are just running to the cage here over Houston plus 12.5. But when you look at it, of course, Memphis is in a really difficult position. 3rd and 4th back-to-back, off a blowout last night against Orlando. Double revenge game, but the line has told a reasonable story here. This is where I was getting to that line point. Early season, the first matchup of the year, Memphis did lay 11.5 points at home and blow them out by 25 plus. Then they came back in the revenge game for Houston again in Memphis. It shortened up to 7.5, and they did win the game by 7 points on the number, I believe. So what you're looking at there is ultimately they did shorten it up, and they knew what was going on. Houston was going to move up in the matchup, and they did cover by a hook. So it was sharp number 1, but point 2, now that it moves up to 11.5, 12.5 on the road, they're telling you Memphis might turn up here. And again, Memphis has traveled very, very well at bottom feeders in the last 6 weeks. They just straight up take care of business in these spots. So I'm not sure how much the Houston double revenge point is going to hold that weight. The line's on Memphis. You guys know I don't love laying these huge positions. If I had a free play here, I would take Memphis.
Got you. Yeah, it's an uninspiring game for me. I can't stand teams like the Rockets because they hadn't won in forever, but they're showing feistiness. They're showing that they can keep the game close, but still do what their general manager would like for them to do and lose the game outright. So be interested to see if Schroeder plays in this one. He's questionable. He's been a catalyst for the Rockets playing well here in these last few games, guys. So I just can't stand those type of teams where they're trash, but they could always come to play and lose by 3 or 4 points, man. Those are I probably won't bet many Rockets games the rest of the season, guys. Next game up here, we have the Cavs versus the Raptors. Shark on WagerTalk.com odds screen. I see 81% of the tickets, 98% of the money on the Cavs here. I mean, that doesn't mean a whole lot, but it does mean that I like the Raptors a tad bit more here, Shark. You do find and I got some inside info for you guys as well. Double revenge spot. They lost 101-102, Shark. The Raptors were laying -6 in that game November 5th. Then they lose 144-99. It was a disgusting game, right? The Raptors will be pissed off from that game, Shark. They had to play with like 8 guys. They had a lot of guys in COVID protocols. Didn't have basically their whole starting 5. Obviously, the Cavs were laying -4, -9 that game. They end up smacking them up, Shark. But regardless, this is the game and the last game as well. They feel like they didn't get some calls or whatever. Another key point here, Scotty Barnes. He had lost in that rookie challenge or whatever to the Cavs, to Mobley and Garland. I think he's going to have some extra incentive to bust them boys up. I like the Raptors here, Sharp. We like the Raptors. They need to get back in the groove. Off 2 straight losses, bad losses, I might add. Hopefully, Van Fleet comes back, man. It will be nice. But Cavs 1-6 against the spread last 7 games, Sharp, have shown that they're kind of sort of going the other way, right? Maybe they're running out of gas after being so hot early. We're liking the Raptors here to get off the schneid, Shark. What we doing, man?
Yeah, my man T-Rex in the chat knows exactly what's coming on a suddenly not so casual
T-Rex
Sharp Sunday, March 6, 2022. The buy hat is engaged. This might be my favorite hat that I own. In fact, I think it's a hell of a print, hell of a take on the road here. We're at +5, 4.5, or 4. A lot of movement here, and mostly sharp for good reason. As Jay detailed, double revenge game, early season, Raptors at home, -6. 102-101 loss. We talk about this every day. That was when Cleveland was an ATS juggernaut as an underdog specifically. Then you come back 144-99. Biggest blowout loss in the last few years, if not the franchise history, I believe, for Toronto. But that was off a COVID break. They had 2 or 3 postponements in a row. As Jay said, they came back with a really lackluster roster. Got absolutely hammered on a -9 Cleveland. We talk about line functionality. That's a 15-point jump from +6 to -9. Now it goes from -9, win by 45, to opening up at 3.5. It is ultra short for a reason. Look at what Toronto's been doing. Of course, Freddie VanVleet's been in and out of the lineup with a nagging injury. OG Anunoby out for 2 more weeks. First game of a road trip here, though, coming off of 2 brutal home losses. Outright loss to Detroit. Really insulting outright loss to Orlando. They're going to want to come in here. Double revenge game, short line. And as you mentioned, Cleveland at home has been abysmal against the spread as soon as they became a favorite. Awful spot for Cleveland. Covered at Philly, come home, 1 standalone home game on a Sunday, then go right back on the road for a road trip. This applies to all teams in professional basketball. When you have 1 home game sandwiched in between road games, it's a tough point. I'm on officially +5, 4.5, or 4. Again, markets all over the place. This will probably move even more as we go forward to this tip time at 7:30 p.m. National game. Toronto Raptors by Pat engaged on the road. Jay.
Yeah, I'm on the +4, man. It's the current line right now. I don't care. This should be a winnable game here. It's simple. I don't think the points are going to matter here. While I'm not taking the money line, I always take the points. I think that we're taking the Raptors here on the +4. We see them win the game. The way it's either they'll get blown out, continue to look bad, or they will win this game and come out with some fights. And it's like I say, guys like Scotty Barnes, Siakam. I don't think he's sick anymore. I think you're going to see the best game out of these guys. It'd be really nice to get VanVleet out there, guys. But I'll be honest, even without him, I think they get it done. Maybe Gary Trent Jr. have to run the point. I don't want to see Malachi Flynn run the point. Not in this one, man. But hopefully VanVleet. This is a big game for the Raptors. They know they got to win this game. Can't get to sliding down too much, man. I can see VanVleet like, man, put that brace on that motherfucking knee. Let's get out here, man, and ball. Up 2 straight losses, man, to the Magic, to the Pistons. You got to come in here and get this win. You lost 2 straight. This is my top spot of the day because I think the motivation will be at peak. While the Pelicans are playing better basketball right now, better defense, I want to be lately. I've been on these revenge spots where I know teams going to come in here like, let's get this fucking win. I'm right there with them. I'm trying to get the win too, man. Raptors +4, top play of the day. Double revenge. Lost by 45 last time. Nurse talked about it. Man, we didn't even have our full team, man. You know what I'm saying? He was saying that couldn't believe the NBA was doing us like this, making us play this game. They will win this game, man. Raptors, top play. We was raised by T-Rexes today, man. Sorry, guys. Y'all know I get hyped about this shit. Let's go to the next game. We're not hitting the Spencer. We got enough shit already for the Nuggets, -3.5 at home versus the Pelicans here, Shark. Now, you see this line coming down as well from the last time where the Pelicans already beat them without their new roster. Now they've gotten even better offensively and defensively since the last time these two faced off in Denver. And you look at it, the Pelicans have played well. Well, wait till I get to let you know these numbers here, Shark. But they are 6-0 against the spread, last 6 in Denver. Road team has covered the last 3 meetings, 7 out of the last 8, and 8 out of the last 10 here. Pelicans won 4 straight, playing their best basketball of the season here, Shark. Number 1 defense over the last 5 games. Number 2 offense over the last 5 games. Number 3 in rebound percentage. Number 1 net rating as well. Nuggets also have the Warriors on deck tomorrow, Shark. Huge look ahead spot. Even though Steph won't be playing, we like the Pelicans to keep it going, Shark. Tell them why.
Absolutely. Official play number 2, Ball Arena road team, New Orleans Pelicans +4. Jay said it, 4th matchup of the year. We are data abundant here. First matchup, you have to go through this. Very important stuff. Denver came into New Orleans when, of course, New Orleans was a different roster and very lackluster, and got them in overtime on a -2, 120 to 114. So off of a theoretical 48-minute non-cover at -2. The very next time in New Orleans again, books opened it up at -4, strong, and they won 116 to 105. 4 should have come up to 7 at home. It's stuck at 5.5. Jay and I had this officially the last time New Orleans was in Denver, and now it comes even further down. And what you're looking at here really is just an incredible sustained buy element for New Orleans. As Jay mentioned, 6-0 ATS last 6. They're fighting right now for the back end of the Western playoffs. They started this season 1-12 straight up. And here they are right there at the back end of the playoffs. They're 1 game behind the Lakers. They need to win every single game possible. And look at the other side of this. Denver won 6 games in a row before losing the previous game. Talk about this all the time. If you zoom out to about a 12-game sample, Denver should not bounce back and go 11-1 straight up. That was an isolated heater for Denver. They won 6. They lost 1. They should lose another. They should probably go about 7-5 in that sample. And ultimately, as you mentioned, they got the Warriors tomorrow night. That's a write-in game. They thought they'd have rest tomorrow. They don't. And I think what has been a noteworthy trend in this environment, the road team just cleans up in this environment for whatever reason. New Orleans Pelicans, I think they win the game. I think they win the game pretty handily here on 8 p.m. Ball Arena +4 official.
Let's fucking go. We're going 2-0, man. I feel it. These are the plays, Shark. It's simple. Win or lose. These are the spots that we like to be on our top spots on the board. We talking about it last night. We're like, we like this, bro. These are the two plays. We're aligned. We aligned it. We refined it. Now let's cash it. I love the plays. Two underdogs. I see them winning outright. Last game up here, Shark. It's another one I had written down. I had 4 dogs written down. Pelicans, Raptors, Suns, Knicks. Knicks 9-4 against the spread. Last 13 in LA. They've lost 7 straight games, right? But been teetering around a win, right, Shark? They should have won that game versus the Suns. It's 2 ways you can come out of that. You come out pissed off, saying playing with some confidence, saying we know that we're close to winning the game. Let's just get over the hump. Or you could be down on yourselves. I didn't bet the game, but heavy lean to Knicks here. This would be one of those systems where you want to take the dog here as well. Clippers been playing red hot. They're a good team, but they're not this great of a team, guys. I mean, just look at who the teams have been who they've been beaten up on as well. And there was another thing that I want to say about the Nuggets. They've been beaten up on very weak competition as well over this, going 9-1 over the last 10. But I'll come back off of that. But yeah, I lean to the Knicks here, Shark, in this late night game. This is a revenge spot for the Clippers, but something tells me that the Knicks can keep it close here.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. You look at the Clippers. We talk about this every single time we're on the show. The Clippers are just a handful of three-point shooters. That's all they do. And obviously without Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, it's just 12 guys that shoot threes, and they're very volatile. So they could win this game by 40 points, or they could lose this game by 20 points. That's how variant the Clippers are. That being said, I think you have to go back to the Knicks' last road trip at the West. The first game of that sequence, they played a really tight game against the Lakers. Went to overtime. We had the Lakers there correct. We got a little fortunate that day to cover in overtime. Then in the second game, on the front end of a back-to-back with travel, they covered at Utah before getting absolutely blown out on the final leg of a 3rd and 4 back-to-back the following night at Denver. I think that trend could hold here again. I think they will compete on this number tonight. National game, 10 p.m. ESPN, 7 Pacific. And I think tomorrow at Sacramento. Sacramento comes home off a brutal loss against Dallas where they function better. They will be catching the Knicks tomorrow night, Monday night, in an ultra fatigue spot. Knicks would be the lean tonight, nothing official. And tomorrow we're looking to fade the Knicks at the Kings.
Y'all see what he did there? You see what he did? He kind of looked ahead into the future. I love it, my guy. My guy, Amir in the chat. I just realized Jay Money's show is the only real free NBA picks on YouTube, man. Shout out, man. Live every fucking day, too. Excuse my French, but Monday through Sunday, man. Y'all better show some love. Hit the like button, man. Get a shirt one time for the one time. And we cash it too, man. Drew, appreciate you for that $50 donation, my guy. Appreciate you. Let's get some cash today, man. Like I said, we finna get out of here with some free NBA picks. I got them shirts on sale, man. Some people that's already hit me up for pre-order. I appreciate the hell out of it. Hit me up right now, NbaTalkWithJay@gmail if you'd like to support the movement, man. Still have Smack City shirts. I'm about to work on some black Smack City shirts as well. We got the @J Money is Money. We got the NBA Talk with Jay. We also have the It's Us Against the Bookies shirt as well, man. So email me, check the Twitter out as well. Got the pricing and the shirts on there, the mock-ups. Let me know, man. You can get your shirt. I'll get them in here about a week, and you'll get your shirt in less than 2 weeks, my guys. Still got the Smack CDs. You get those in 2 days. Hit me up, NbaTalkWithJay@gmail. Shark. Let's get to the free picks. What we like today. Let's go 2-0 one time for the one time.
Absolutely. 2 top plays, 9 words of lifestyle. Ride the wave beyond the water. I see my man here said he's skipping church for this show. That is some powerful stuff going on here.
Bro, go to church, man, and bro, check it out after the song, man. Come on, bro.
And 2 top plays, as we said, Raptors line moving around. I'm on 5. 4 is also fine. Saw my guy in the chat said the Raptors stink. That's the point. We haven't said
this. Jay, I want to see that. I want to see that one though. I got to put that up on the screen.
Scroll up a little bit. We haven't said this in a while. The key to capping sports in general is consistency to the inconsistency. When you find a playoff caliber team that's coming off 2 awful games like they have, that's where you want to buy. You don't really want to find a team that's too hot and be late to the party. That's what we're trying to do here. As I said, 4, 4.5, 5, whatever you guys get should be fine. Second play, road team, Ball Arena, New Orleans Pelicans continue the upward movement. Really strong stuff here. Jay, a pleasure as always. A beautiful, beautiful, sharp Sunday, March 6, 2022. Close them out.
It's always a pleasure. And I feel like we going 2-0, man. I'm sorry. I get hyped up with this shit, man. We this is lifestyle shit. We right, Sharp. We're in our groove, man. We're in our element. Let's keep it going. We know what these teams are. Let's get some cash. The Raptors have looked terrible. They just come off of 3 and 4 nights, fifth game in 7 nights. Like literally, I'm looking at their schedule, and that was a brutal schedule coming out of the All-Star break. 5 games in 7 nights, and they were getting used to playing back with fans at their home arena. Now they go on the road where they're the bad guys. I think they'll actually play some better ball on the road. Like I say, hey, Van Fleet's not right now. He's not in there. I'd be surprised if Van Fleet didn't suck it up and no homo shit, but he didn't get it off in there and like, hey, let's, you know what I'm saying? We have to win here. We got smacked up by 45 of these guys. They think they're big dogs in the East now. Let's come and show them now. 2 bad losses. Give me the Raptors to win this game. I don't give a damn who is out there. We're taking the Raptors as a team to come out here and get this win. They'll have to do it with defense, my guys. And the Pelicans as well. I don't really need to say more. They're playing their best basketball of the season right now. Number 1 in defense over the last 5 games. Number 2 in offense. Number 3 in rebound percentage. Those are the 3 things that matter to me. Also, number 1 in net rating. This team is on one right now. I don't know what gas they're smoking. CJ McCollum brought some edibles to the boys, but they're on one, playing their best basketball of the season. Shark. Let's cash it. Raptors and Pelicans, 2 top plays. Let's go 2-0. One time for the one time. Hit me up for the shirts. Go follow my guy Shark on Twitter at Sharks and Sports. You can follow me as well at JMoneyIsMoney. Email me NbaTalkWithJay at gmail for the shirts. We out, guys. Let's cash. Hit the like.